Welcome back, everyone. It's CityLine, and I'm Christy Gledhill. And I've mentioned before, I'm going to say it again, I can't believe my luck today. I am talking to unforgettable teachers. There are 4 of them that we're talking to today. They are all featured in the Unforgettables video series that the Tacoma Public Schools has put together, thanks to videographer Casey Madison. So we get to watch those videos, take our time, listen to these teachers' stories, and then talk to them in person. And this show is really about celebrating the power and the impact that a good teacher, a really great teacher, can have in a student's life to not only affect that student, him or herself, but also their family and the rest of the community. So this is really a show for everybody. And I think it's true that people are kind of thinking back to that teacher that you had all those years ago who made an impact in your life. If you're lucky enough, you had a teacher like that. So our next guest is Katherine Davis, and she is a first grade teacher at Blix Elementary in the dual language program. And we'll just watch the video, and then we'll be right back with Katherine herself to talk more about teaching.
No, I don't think of being unforgettable. I want them to remember me with a smile and think all the things that we learn and how fun learning is. When I started teaching, I was the only, 2 teachers, and we were the only Hispanic teachers in the building. And the kids wanted to be a teacher because they have never seen anybody that have gone to college, and they never seen a teacher of their own color, brown teacher, or a teacher that speaks Spanish. That is very powerful, to see somebody in front of you that you can be. In that moment, you're just changing without even knowing, changing kids' lives. We're not only educating kids so they can go to college, we're educating kids so they can be part of a community and make this community better, to understand each other, not being afraid of talking to somebody that doesn't speak their language, because they speak another language too. We're preparing them for the world that sometimes is not that nice, but they can make a difference. So they know the feeling of being happy in a diverse, amazing family. Every day I have a chance to be a better human being. I'm going there happy, and I'm thinking, yeah, I'm doing something good for my life. I'm doing my part as a member of the community, as a member of the society, as a member of this country. I'm a better human because I'm a teacher. I feel like I am better.
Well, we have said that this is a show in which you might need some hankies, some Kleenex with you, and that really is true. Boy, in that video, Katherine, I see you as such a role model for your students. I mean, I see the way that they're looking at you and the way that you're relating to them and the way that you're talking about how your responsibility in their lives. And I see you really building that as your profession. You're a role model to these children. And it makes me wonder about what role models you had as a teacher. Like, how did you decide you wanted to be a teacher? And are you basing that on anybody in your past that was a great teacher for you?
Well, yeah, I had great teachers. I was very lucky. But I also, when I started working for Tacoma Public Schools, I started as an interpreter. And I saw all the families and Hispanic families and kids that were going to school for the first time and didn't speak any English. So it was really hard for them. So helping them, it was just amazing. And then see the need of a Hispanic teacher or somebody that speaks Spanish in the schools, because it is important to connect to your kids and your families in the same language. I mean, it doesn't make me super teacher, but it's something that helps you connect to other for kids that don't speak Spanish. And so I really wanted to be a teacher. I started as a paraeducator, then I continue to be a teacher. But during all that time, teachers inspired me to be a teacher. Like my own teachers at school, college. Yeah, it's just my whole life I've been inspired by teachers.
I think that's true. Like that, I know a lot of teachers in my life, and I think it's true that something about them allows them to notice that there is more to be done, that they could be of help, and they could make these connections, and they could help kids see themselves. And I think that that's not what everybody sees, and so I think that's really a special part of like the seed of being a great teacher is like understanding that could be your responsibility, and noticing the thing in you that would allow you to do that. So I think that's really special. And I wonder too, I was thinking as I was watching this video, I've seen it many times now, and it always strikes me that what you've created for them there is not only a place where they can see themselves someday and they can relate to someone that looks like them and acts like them and reminds them of their own family maybe, but also you've created this safe space for them. That classroom, the shots that we see in the video it seems like a very safe space for them. And I wonder how you have thought about building that into that kind of space for these kids.
Well, it's like I see my classroom as my family. It's not just my job. And at one point, all my kids have called me mom instead of teacher. And that makes me feel like, yeah, I'm doing something good if you call me mom.
Right.
So it's like a family. And in this program, at the dual language program, all the kids come from kindergarten and go to first grade all together. This is just one classroom per grade. So they go all together and they get to know each other pretty well. And the families get to know each other. So it's just like a big, diverse, amazing family when we have to take care of each other. And I don't know, it's just natural. My classroom is my other home. I take my kid there. My dog is the main character of all my story problems. And it's just, they know everything about me. I know a lot about them. We know each other. It's a family.
So it's just this is your life playing out. And I think about it in terms of just like this is your natural way with people. You just have such a nice way with children and a nice way with people. But also I think there is a word for this social emotional learning and this social emotional support that kids need, that sure they're learning the content of what they're learning in your classes and they're learning story problems, but they're also learning about your dog.
Yeah.
And they're also feeling this social and emotional support from you. They're treated well and in a respectful way when they come into the classroom, and I know that really makes a lot of difference for kids because you don't know where they're coming from sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And what they have going on at home. I suppose, can you talk a little bit about, we've talked about how a great teacher not only makes a difference in the life of the student, but also in the life of that family. And do you have any stories there about like how that has played out for you over the years that you've been teaching?
Oh, yeah. I have really good connections with the family, even after school. I get invited to all the parties. And I love to see my kids coming back and say hi to me, and their parents bring them back, and it makes me feel old because they're already older. But it's nice. It's nice for them to come back and help in the classroom and see the other kids and remembering that. And it's just great to feel like we care about each other, and at the end I'm a mom too. We just want the same for our kids.
So you teach the class. You use both English and Spanish in the class, and I'm wondering like how that works for students. Let me not put words in your mouth. Are all the students that come into your class, are they all English language learners, or do you have is everybody able to speak Spanish when they come in, or how does that work with the two languages in one class?
No, we have 50% of kids that speak Spanish at home and 50% of kids that don't. They start in kindergarten, and they have a whole year of Spanish in kindergarten. So when they get to my classroom, they understand a lot. When they go to second grade, first grade, third grade, they start talking more. So they go through that silent period, the same as kids that don't speak English, that they understand first, and then, yeah, and that's really, really neat. It helps the kids that speak Spanish to learn how to read in Spanish and learn vocabulary in Spanish, correct vocabulary, correct English, or Spanish. And the kids that speak English, they're challenged with this. They have to, like, and they like it. They like it. It's a challenge, and it helps them. It's another language. They're going to be able to.
As we wrap up here, we've got to wrap up, but I want to give you a chance to say something in Spanish briefly to your kids. What do you want to say?
What would I say? Gracias por dejarme ser su profesora, su maestra. Los quiero mucho.
Oh, I don't know what that means, but it sounded beautiful. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being unforgettable, and thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We'll be right back in just a moment with one last unforgettable teacher.